Let's do a couple examples of electron configuration. So electron configuration. And just to be clear, we've covered a lot in these last couple of lectures, and I don't predict or anticipate that everybody's got all this 100% down because we're not having a back and forth, we're not asking questions. Please do so in class when you have the chance, and hopefully we can get things cleared up if you have any other questions. All right, let's do an example here. We're going to look at a long version of doing electron configuration for an element, and we'll just pick manganese as an example. So just as an example, we'll grab our little periodic table here, manganese sitting right here. And as far as finding the electron configuration for that, we're just going to kind of count going across the periodic table. So I'll just kind of bounce back and forth between our sheets and the paper here. So starting off, see how much I can get in here. Push this up a little bit. We'll take a look at our periodic table and say, oh, I can get the whole thing in there. Good. For this, just like reading a book, we'll start in the upper left-hand corner and just read across. You're in row 1. All right, 1. We're in the S block. All right, S. And going across, this is the only one that does this. 1, 2. And we use a superscript for that to mark that. So energy level 1 is completely filled. We've taken care of all the electrons available. Moving on to energy level number 2 in the next row, just like a book. We're still in the S block. You always start there. And there's 2 of them, 1, 2. We've filled it. Remember, we're trying to get to manganese. And then we keep going across. We're still in the second row, but we're in the P block. And if I count across, there's 6. So I write 6. And what we're doing here again is we're counting for all the electrons that are within manganese. This row is done. Drop down to row 3. I'm in the S block. There's 2 of them. Keep going all the way across. So basically what you see. So we're still in the third row, energy level. We're in the P block, and there are 6 of them. Filled. Going down to the fourth row, because we have to get to here. 4, S, there's 2 of them. Now we run into here. It's in the D block. According to this block, we take the row number and subtract 1. So it's not 4, but 3. So 3, we're in the D block, and we count across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the specific electron configuration for manganese. Now, we can also write a condensed, because that's a pain, condensed electron configuration. Let's write it like that. What we can do is sum up everything rows above the one the element is in, based upon the end of the line. And so it's called noble gas configuration, sometimes condensed, but noble gas configuration. So argon can summarize everything above it. So again, if you're reading, this would be the end of the line. This is what sums it up. So I can also write argon. Argon is equal to all of this stuff. All of this stuff over here. And then I just begin in the next row. So argon took care of everything else. And then I simply write 4, S2, 3, D5. That's the end of the line. Okay. There's some anomalies, but we'll probably talk about those in class. You are not responsible for those on the AP exam, but they are interesting to talk about, but I don't want to get wrapped up in that. Okay, let's do a couple examples in our homework, and we'll keep the electron or the periodic table handy as a reference. So we're looking at the first one here, which is 55. Which of the following represents impossible combinations of N and L? Well, the N part is fine. I can be in any of these rows. So I'm not worried about it. It's more about how the L relates to it. So don't forget what we talked about before, that L can be anything of n minus 1, but it can't be equal to n. So can I have a P in the first row? Using the periodic table as an example, no. Based upon the rule, the math, it tells us we can't do it, but just looking at the periodic table, there is no P. This actually belongs over here. It's in the right place, but it's part of the S block. So this, no, we can't do that. 4S, everybody, no matter what, has an S. So yes, this one is okay. This one's impossible. 5F. 4, 5F. We're going to focus on the F portion, not the 5 portion. So here are where the the F's are found. Row 7, row 6. But remember, as far as identifying which energy level it's in, it's always subtract 2. So looking at this, okay, so 7 is actually 5, and 6 is 4. Well, 5 satisfies that requirement. So row 7, energy level 5 is present. So we are good with that one here. And then the last one is example 2D. In row 2, even when I'm looking at this one, the highest you can be is 3. So no, that is not possible for 2D. Okay, let's take a look and do a couple of these electron configurations. I don't think I'll go through all of them just because it'll take too long, but we'll take a look at a couple anyways. Okay, the first one on here is cesium, but are we asking for the whole thing? Write the electron configuration of the following atoms using the appropriate noble gas core. Okay, that makes life easier. The first one, cesium. So we got to find cesium on our periodic table. There it is. And again, using the condensed version, we can sum up based on xenon way up here. So as far as writing that, move this out of the way a little bit, and we will simply say xenon. And then moving down here, it is 6s1. That's just where it's at. So 6s1. Done. All right, for the next one, nickel. Finding nickel sitting right here. We can sum up based on argon. And moving over, it's in the third row. So argon, I guess I didn't need to know that it was in the third row. Argon, and then sliding down, we are trying to get, again, nickel, so it's sitting right here. So we'll say 4s2, and then bumping into the D block. Don't forget 3d, 1, slide this up a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 for nickel. Selenium. Selenium is sitting over here. And again, I'll grab argon to sum up from above. Argon. And then if I have to get to selenium sitting right here, I have to march all the way across, just like we did before. 4s2. 4s2. And then all of the D's, 3D, there's 10 of them, bounce back out to 4, and then P, and then how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them going across. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do uranium because that's a fun one. There's a lot of them on there. Uranium is sitting 92. Where's 92? Right there. Uranium sitting here way at the bottom, so we got to go all the way across. So remember, row 7 sitting here. So radon is going to sum up everything from above. So we'll say, okay, radon, Rn, and then start back onto the 7th row because uranium is sitting right here. And we'll say, okay, so 7, S2. And then to get to uranium, we are going to bounce. I'm going to do it. There's a few different ways that you can look at this one, but I'm going to show this process going through it. We're going to start with all of the F's going through, and we're actually going to start right here with actinine. So 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. And that one, again, I'm not going to want to get too pinned in that one. So we'll say going from for radon, 1, 2, 3, 4. So row 5, F4. So again, don't forget that you think you're in the 7th row, but you're actually in the 5th. So 5, F4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the last lecture.